Today's show is all about color work, and we're taking a look at two pairs of great color work projects for the hands and taking a look at how changing just simple things like colors and yarn choices can really make a big difference in the finished look of your project. First, we have the White Witch mitts by Laura Rintola, and the pattern for these is on the web. But you can see in the original that they start very traditionally with just a corrugated ribbing, four-color corrugated ribbing, and then she's just got a very traditional snowflake motif that's repeated twice. And the colors grade, the background colors grade from dark up to light and then back to dark again throughout the center of the motif. And Laura's used a really lovely alpaca blend yarn, which gives the stitches sort of a blurry, soft focus kind of quality to them, and gives a really nice effect to the finished mitts, as well as being very warm. And the palm of the hand and the thumb have a different, smaller pattern on them. So first we have a version from Yesenia from East Los Angeles. And what Yesenia's done is she's used a very different kind of yarn, first of all. She's used a very smooth merino blend. And what that does is that makes the stitches and the colors and the shapes much crisper. And obviously she's changed the colors as well. But again, she's preserved she's preserved the gradient from dark to light to dark. Then we have Erin from Bolingbrook, Illinois. And she's used very different colors also, blues and browns. But again, preserving the color transitions throughout. And she's used a nice wool that has a nice density and warmth to it. Then Lori from Firestone, Colorado has used a different kind of cast-on. She used a German twisted cast-on, which is just a little bit firmer and gives a nice decorative kind of edge to it. And it's rather than using 4 colors, Lori's used just 3 colors. A dark background color, the white background color, and then the darkest of all, which she's used as her pattern color. And that gives a really graphic, bold kind of effect to the finished mittens. And finally, Susie from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, has made the mitts a little bit larger by using a larger yarn, but otherwise she's followed the pattern exactly, but just changed the colors again. Then by the same designer, we have the Winter Twilight mitts, which are a pair of fingerless gloves with a sort of free-form tree silhouetted against sky kind of pattern here. So the first variation that we have is from Pam from Elyria, Ohio. And Pam has preserved the same concept of using a slightly variegated background and just a solid dark pattern color, foreground color. And she's dyed the yarn herself in just slightly differing shades of pink, purple, and orange, which gives a lot of depth and richness to the color, to the finished pattern. Then we have Jillian from Goose Creek, South Carolina. And Jillian's made the mitt slightly larger just by knitting on a different size needle. And she's used a background color yarn that has more of a striping effect to it. It has dark and light values of color in it. So it's a very different kind of effect, almost like stained glass. We have Caroline from Newport, Kentucky. And Caroline has changed the concept a little bit by using just 2 solid colors. And these haven't been blocked yet, but you can see that already the pattern's got a very graphic kind of quality to it. And finally, there's Minu from Ridgely, West Virginia. And she sort of turned them on their head by reversing the order of colors. So she's used a solid for the background color, and she's used the variegated for the foreground color. And what that does is that gives the pattern a lot of richness to it, the motif itself, rather than the background. So I hope you've learned a lot about different ways that you can personalize your color work projects just by changing color or yarn choice or both. And that's our show for today. Next time, it's all about shapes. Get a little geometric with us, and remember, make time for yarn every day.
Knitting Daily. Make time for yarn every day. The projects and patterns from today's show, plus more ideas and projects, can be found on the web at knittingdailytv.com. This is show 203. Continue knitting daily every day by joining the online Knitting Daily community and receive a free newsletter 5 times a week, filled with step-by-step techniques, inspiring reader-contributed stories, and free patterns. It's about knitting all the time. knittingdaily.com. Knitting Daily has been sponsored in part by Interweave, inspiring, encouraging, and supporting creative self-expression through art and craft media. Interweave.com. Yarnmarket.com, a global resource for over 600 yarns, plus books, patterns, and other knitting supplies. Yarnmarket.com. Fiesta Yarns and Ironstone Yarns. We are color. fiestayarns.com, ironstoneonline.com. Webs, America's Yarn Store, a source for knitting and crocheting yarns and supplies. Yarn.com. Taki Stacy Charles, Feel the Desire, Knit Your Passion. TNNA, the National Needle Arts Association, the organization for independent needle arts retailers. Signature Needle Arts, heirloom tools for your knitting projects. Blue Sky Alpacas, redefining high fiber.